I just went crazy with the research. I felt like Nicolas Cage in some kind of movie trying to find some secret. And then I kind of found like I was like, oh my God, I've got the answer. To write a book that says eat protein, and then to write a book that says, wait a second, don't eat protein, was a big deal. I switched onto a more plant-based diet. Thank God there were a few doctors out there that had written some papers, and I started doing research. And the more research I did, I was like, oh my God, it is the food that we eat. The more I came to that realization, the more I started investigating it. And it became an obsession after a while. Like I show this picture of myself sitting at our dining room table, just with the table just covered with papers, because I just went crazy with the research. And I felt like Nicolas Cage in some kind of movie trying to find some secret. And then I kind of found like I was like, oh my God, I've got the answer. So then, of course, I started looking around my patients. Everybody's got the same diseases. And they're not separate diseases. We think of them separately. We think there's obesity, and there's heart disease, and there's cancer, and there's diabetes. They're all one disease process. I mean, they're all part of an inflammatory process. As I started researching this, what kept recurring over and over again is that people are fighting low carb versus low fat. So people are like, oh, should I be low carb or should I be low fat? But the one thing that never gets mentioned is protein. And so people are like, well, regardless, low carb might be right or low fat might be right, but what's definitely right is more protein. Protein is actually a really big part of many of these disease processes. And when you look at the healthiest places in the world, the people that don't have the diseases that I'm treating on a day-to-day basis, they're eating really low protein. It just seems weird to me that everybody's on protein shakes. People are on protein shakes to gain weight. People are on protein shakes to lose weight. Look, if everyone ate the way I ate or the way I tell patients to eat, I'd somewhat be out of business. The vast majority of my diet are fruits, vegetables, grains, starches, beans. I mean, you could look at my food and I could see it in its natural form, not processed into something different. That diet is taking out meat and dairy, which we know from epidemiology, we know from randomized controlled trials, we know from looking at societies that live long, healthy lives like the blue zones. That stuff is bad for you. And you look at some of the successes that are out there. I mean, there was a guy who would be happy for me to talk about him named Josh Lajani, who talked to me a long time ago about, weight loss surgery. He was extremely overweight. Now, had Josh come into my office, I probably would have said, look, you need to do a plant-based diet, but let's do surgery first, and that's going to help you out. But Josh didn't do surgery. He just changed his diet, started exercising, felt great, and now the guy's a complete athlete. I would really tell people to look at these examples that are out there, because we get a feeling that diets don't work and nothing can be done. Because you're told diets don't work and nothing can be done. Not only have they been told that, they've tried a million diets and they failed, but you know what they haven't tried is a whole food plant-based diet. No one comes to me like, I tried a whole food plant-based diet and then I just quit and decided to go back to meat. That just doesn't happen. Yes, there's YouTubers that are like, oh, I was vegan and now I quit, and shooting those videos, but that's a very small amount of people, and those people were never whole food plant-based eaters. I mean, I go on these videos like, what are they doing? They're eating nothing but grapes. People that understand how to do this diet right, you feel, I mean, I'm almost 50 years old and I feel fantastic. I feel every day energetic. I'm not on any medications. When you start feeling that health, you start craving those foods that get you that health, and it becomes a lot easier. And when you get to that stage where you actually crave a kale salad, that's when the health really starts coming.